Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss about the quantitative aspects of electrolysis. Till yesterday, we have discussed the electrolysis process with the help of different example that was nothing but the qualitative aspect of the electrolysis, because by the process we have decided or we have chosen that which particular ion must move towards which particular electrode. So the quality we have decided. Now we are to see the quantitative aspect of the electrolysis, that which ion will move towards a particular electrode, that we have decided by the qualitative analysis. But now by the quantitative aspect we would be able to know that how much amount of the substance would be deposited or liberated to a particular electrode, because in almost all the cases we have seen that either the metal would be deposited or a particular gas, whether it is oxygen or chlorine would be, or bromine would be liberated to the particular electrode. So it can be seen with the help of Faraday's law. The Faraday's laws are given by Michael Faraday in 1833, in which he has given the relationship between the amount of substance liberated or deposited at a particular electrode and the amount of current passed during the electrolysis process. So let's see the Faraday's first law of electrolysis. What is the first law of Faraday? According to this law, the mass of the substance deposited or liberated at any electrode is directly proportional to the quantity of charge passed. According to him, that the mass deposited or liberated gas is directly proportional to the charge passed to the electrolytic cell. It is but obvious that if we are to do the electrolysis process, so we have to provide or pass electricity to the electrolytic cell, by which a particular mass of the substance would be deposited at particular electrode. So it must be directly proportional to the charge passed to the electrolytic cell. Here the mass is in gram, that is a mass of the substance. W is the mass of the substance in gram, while Q is the charge in coulomb. We know that Q is equal to I into T. Q means the current passed in ampere for T second. So we can also write W is directly proportional to I into T, and when we remove the proportionality sign, we give a proportionality constant that we have given here as W is equal to ZIT. So what is Z? Z is the electrochemical equivalent. And how can we calculate the value of Z? If suppose we said we have provided 1 coulomb of charge for an electrolytic cell, what will happen? We can place the Q as 1, means I into 2, I into T is equal to 1 ampere of current for 1 second we have provided to the electrolytic cell, we have passed to the electrolytic cell, then the W must be equal to Z. It means that the mass of the substance deposited by passing 1 coulomb of charge through the electrolyte is known as the electrochemical equivalent. If we are passing the 1 coulomb of the charge to the electrolytic cell or to the electrolyte in an electrolytic cell, then the mass of the substance deposited would be equal to its electrochemical equivalent. So now let's see it with the help of one example, how we are to calculate the value of W or Z in case of number of numericals. Let's see, if we are taking electrolysis of sodium chloride, then molten sodium chloride, then on electrolysis of molten sodium chloride we would be getting sodium at cathode and chlorine at anode. So what we see, at cathode, sodium ion on electronation means on reduction, sodium would be deposited at cathode. Here by the reaction we are able to see that one electron produce one sodium atom. That by reduction of one sodium ion we need one electron and it provide one sodium atom. So we may also say by the reaction that 1 mole of electron is needed to produce 1 mole of sodium. And in the similar manner at anode what will happen? The chlorine gas would be liberated by 2 electrons, by the de-electronation of 2 electron. For this we have to take 2 Cl ion. It means we can say that 2 mole of electron produce 1 mole of chlorine. We need 2 mole of electron to produce 1 mole of chlorine. Now let's see, we'll derive the formula for Z. For that we must first be knowing the charge on 1 mole of electron, because we are talking about number of moles of electron. So we must be knowing the value of charge for 1 mole of electron. We know that charge on 1 electron is 1.6 into 10 raised to the power minus 19 coulomb. And we also know that 1 mole contains, if we are asking about the number of electrons present in 1 mole. So 1 mole contains the number of electrons is equal to the Avogadro number, that is 6.022 into 10 raised to the power 23. So now we have to calculate the charge on 1 mole of electron. If the charge of 1 electron is this and 1 mole of electron contains this much electron, so the charge on 1 mole of electron would be the multiplication of these two, and it is approximate 96,500 coulomb, and it is also known as 1 Faraday of charge. So what we have calculated? We have calculated the charge on 1 mole of electron. So now generalize it with a general reaction, that if suppose I have taken this reaction, it is a particular metal ion having the charge as N. For this we have to take N electrons to deposit this particular metal. So now with the reaction we are able to see that N mole of electron is needed to produce 1 mole of metal. Means with the help of N mole of electron, 1 mole of metal would be deposited. So I have written 1 mole of M is deposited. And if suppose the mass of 1 mole of M is W gram, and what would be this? For 1 mole, the mass deposited would be equal to its atomic mass. So the atomic mass I have supposed as W gram here. If suppose I say the value of N is 1, if I say N is 1, yani 1 electron is there, so the 1 mole electron that we have calculated is having the charge is equal to 96,500 coulomb. It means that 96,500 coulomb can be made equal to W gram. That means this much charge is needed for the deposition of W gram of metal. But here in the definition what we have said, that if we are placing the value of charge as 1 coulomb, then Z would be equal to W. Means the mass of the substance deposited by passing 1 coulomb of charge through the electrolyte is known as the electrochemical equivalent. And now we are to derive the formula for Z. How to calculate Z for the numericals? So it means we are to calculate the value for 1 coulomb, not for 96,500 coulomb. So if the mass deposited is W gram for 96,500 coulomb. So 1 coulomb would be equal to W upon 96,500 coulomb. And if again I said, because I suppose that n is equal to 1, and in place of 1 electron, if I said it is n electron, so for n mole of electron, the value would be equal to W upon 96,500 into n. I can written here into n. Now what is n? N is the n factor basically. Means the n factor is the valency of that particular ion. It means if suppose I am talking about sodium ion, it would be 1. For copper ion, it would be 2. For aluminium ion, it would be 3. So accordingly, we will place the value. So I may write n is equal to valency of the particular ion. So the formula derived is Z is equal to W upon 96500 into N. If we are depositing a particular metal, so we will write down the atomic mass. But if we are talking about a particular gas, then we have to place the molecular mass. It means if the molecule is liberated, so we will write down molecular mass here. And if a particular metal is there, then we will write down the atomic mass here. So now the formula would be Z is equal to W upon 96500 into N, because now we have calculated the value for 1 coulomb. We have placed Q as 1 coulomb. We have placed Q as 1 coulomb, then W is equal to Z. It means now we can write Z is equal to W upon 96500 into N. Here W, as I have told you, it is either the atomic mass or the molecular mass, and W atomic mass upon N factor. We have studied in chapter solution that atomic mass upon M is equal to equivalent mass. We know that. We have studied that. So I may directly write Z is equal to equivalent mass upon 96500. Now understood it with the help of the example that we have taken for the electrolysis of sodium chloride. Now come to the first equation. Let's see, for the first equation, we have calculated that 1 mole of electron produce 1 mole of Na. And 1 mole of Na is equal to 23 gram. Its atomic mass would be 23. So now we can place the value here. Z की value calculate करनी है इस particular equation के लिए. तो Z would be equal to 23 upon 96500, and the N factor means the valency on sodium ion is 1. So we may write 1 here. So we can calculate the value of Z for this particular equation like this. In the similar manner for equation 2. Equation 2 means that we have calculated for anode. We have written 2 mole of electron produced for 1 mole of chlorine. Now here it is a gas, so we have to calculate volume. But if we are to calculate the mass, we can place again the value in the same formula as Z is equal to molecular mass now upon 96500 into N. So I have written here Z is equal to 71, that is the molecular mass of chlorine, upon 96500 into 2. So that would be the mass deposited of chlorine in gram. But as I have told you that it is a gas, we have to calculate the volume. That's why we can also make a bit change in the formula, that in place of equivalent mass, we may write the equivalent volume. The equivalent volume at NTP. So equivalent volume can be calculated like this, that 71 gram of chlorine is there at 22.4 liter or 22,400 cc centimeter cube at NTP. So 35.5 gram would be liberated at 11.2 liter or 11,200 centimeter cube at NTP. So we can place the value as 11,200 cc upon 96500 in the case, because we are to calculate the volume, so we may make the change in the formula to calculate the value of Z by taking the equivalent volume in the case. Now let's see the second law of, now we'll apply these formulas in the different questions. Now let's see the Faraday's second law. What is the second law? First read the law. When the same quantity of charge is passed through the solution of different electrolytes connected in series, the masses of the substance deposited at respective electrodes are directly proportional to their equivalent masses. Now let's see what is the law talking about. According to the law, we have taken two containers having two different electrolytes and they are being connected in series like this. As we are able to see here, they are connected in series. Here we have connected this electrode to the negative end, and negative end means it is cathode, and this is the positive end means anode. If it is cathode, it would be anode, and if this is anode, it means it would be cathode. So they both are connected in series to each other, and here we have taken the copper sulfate aqueous solution and AgNO3 aqueous solution. And we have already studied in qualitative analysis or qualitative aspect that which would be deposited at cathode here, or what would be the product at cathode and anode. If we are able to see, these are the examples of refining of copper and silver. It means in the whole process at cathode we would be getting the copper in this case, and at cathode we would be getting silver in the case. So the law can also be proved by the first law itself. In the first law we have studied the formula W is equal to Z into Q. So here we are talking about if we have connected both of them in series, so the charge pass would be same for both the electrolytes. Q would be same, because we are to pass the current for a particular time, and whatever current we will pass for a particular time would be same for both the electrolytes. It means Q would be same for both the electrolytes. So the first electrolyte, if suppose this is the first electrolyte, I may say that the mass of the substance deposited is W1, that would be equal to Z1 into Q. And in the similar manner for the second electrolyte, W2 is equal to Z2 into Q. So now if we are to calculate, we will divide one equation to other, then W1 upon W2 would be equal to Z1 upon Z2, because Q would be cancelled out. And we have studied the formula to calculate Z as E, yani equivalent mass upon 96500. So we will place here for Z1 the value of equivalent mass would be E1, so E1 upon 96500. In the similar manner, E2 for upon 96500. 96500 would be cancel out from each other. It means finally we would be getting W1 upon W2 is equal to E1 upon E2. And this is the second law of Faraday's. It means when the same quantity of charge is passed through the solution of different electrolytes connected in series, that I have told you that they are connected in series and we are passing the same quantity of charge here, then the masses of the substance deposited, at respective electrode are directly proportional to their equivalent masses. They are directly proportional to their equivalent masses. So for this equipment, for this electrolytes in series, we may write the mass of the copper deposited upon mass of the silver deposited is equal to equivalent mass of copper upon equivalent mass of silver. Now you are to study it listen to the video carefully, read it from the book. If there is any problem, you can ask. And tomorrow we will discuss number of numericals based on these two laws, and we will find out the volume, the mass deposited, the volume liberated, and the current passed. These values we can calculate with the help of different examples. Thank you.